I watched Hot Tub, the first one, against my will, and it actually turned out to be fairly funny. I wouldn't really watch it again.
It wasn't bad, but
I definitely wouldn't see the second one.
No. You're not gonna go see the sequel?
No.
Yeah. Well,
where they find another hot tub that happens to be a time machine.
That's amazing.
No, it's the same hot tub.
It's kind of like those Crank movies where he has to keep moving or else he'll die.
There's only one, right?
No, they made a sequel to it.
Oh wow!
Where the same exact thing happens to him, and he is like, "Wow, like that thing that happened to me before. I never thought that would happen to anybody ever, and it happened to me again. And I'm on camera. Oh my God, what are we gonna do?"
That's a little messed up. Yeah.
I'm equating Hot Tub Time Machine with that. Two very unlikely scenarios happening twice within a very ordinary person's lifespan.
Now there was one good movie that I saw right before. It was actually on New Year's. It was the third Hunger Games movie, which I did enjoy those. I've not read those books, but I've seen all the movies.
What was the last book you read?
It's good. Gosh, the last book I read.
Gosh.
I know that tells you. He's like, hold on.
Well, I don't. What's the point of reading now? I mean, I've read all through school. I mean, what's
the point of reading?
For knowledge, your quest for knowledge and intellectual, spiritual, and emotional growth, Todd.
I have no quest for anything. I read about radio production and things like that. I read about what's going on in the world.
Like, just give me home and health insurance.
I mean books.
About what? Books about what?
Anything other. Like, I'm not talking about like pamphlets or like the internet news. I'm talking about like a book.
Name me a book that I should read. It's so important right now. Because you're a big reader over there.
I'm fairly big.
Right,
I'm not as much as Sheila.
All right, what was the last thing you read since you're judging?
Drowned by Juno Diaz.
When?
Let's see, it was about a month ago.
Okay, so fair enough. But the last I don't really read for pleasure. The last book I read for pleasure was, I guess it was about a year ago. It was about the Civil War, and I read that book. And
that's good.
That's technically I do read a lot of those books.
Nonfiction stuff is good. That's probably a good place to start because you can pick a topic that you're interested in, find a book, and you can really invest yourself in something that you're already fairly familiar with.
A good place to start. I'm not starting anywhere. If I just
a good place. If you ever want to take up reading for pleasure, it's a good place to start.
I will tell you, do judge books by their cover before you read them. Like
I would assume so. Yeah.
But like that's how I find like interesting books. Is the cover? I'll be like, what's that? Oh, okay, I'll read it.
Right, but yeah, no, I tend to read. The only kind of books I read are usually historical books.
That's good. I
loved all my history books in school.
Mm-hmm. So
do that. I read those.
That's a good one.
But I mean, I don't read now. I mean, I might read once a year. I mean, I don't, maybe once a year.
You
should read a biography on Orson Welles. That's what you should do.
I'd really rather not.
It's a historical book. It's on the Vietnam War, and it's called The Things They Carried. That's a good
book.
The
Things They Carried. I've never heard of that one.
That sounds reasonably interesting.
And then also In Cold Blood by
Truman Capote.
Yeah. Really popular, first true crime book ever.
I read that a long time ago.
Okay.
And Truman,
Read I don't know.
Yeah, that one is a little creepy, a little good.
Read some true crime novels. There's plenty of them out there.
Dude, the creepiest one I ever read was Pee Wee Gaskins, who was a serial killer from South Carolina, and I actually knew a girl in my high school whose uncle defended him poorly. He's in jail. Scary, scary book.
Yeah, that sounds kind of scary. How many people did he kill?
He admitted to, I think, in the book, about 20.
Wow. Okay, yeah, so he's...
Because he would drop them in, the swamps and stuff.
He's certainly a serial killer.
Yeah.
And he was just sort of he was real weird.
Yeah, probably.
I would assume
Anybody who starts killing human beings for sport, they're probably a little weird.
The writer that wrote for him didn't, change the sentences to make them, grammatically correct or anything.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it's supposed to be a journalistic endeavor, you're not really supposed to do that.
But he, wrote how he spoke.
Oh, he sort of wrote the words phonetically. If he said going, but he said going, he would spell it out GOIN apostrophe.
Yeah,
okay,
that type of thing, and then also the grammar being poor because it wasn't a direct quote. Well, all of it, I guess I suppose was a direct quote, but it wasn't just when he was in quotation marks. It was all I don't know. It's interesting. Yeah. Anyway.
But most of the stuff that I read nowadays are things that can progress my career. I don't really I don't really read for pleasure because I don't find reading pleasurable. Maybe that's just me.
It just depends on the subject.
Because what
I kind of understand that if you're just reading something that feels like a chore, that feels like homework. I understand that.
Even when I read something that I enjoy, it becomes like
A homework assignment?
Yeah, because I have to schedule it out so that I make sure I do it each day, and I'm just like,
You don't have to.
No, that's the way I am. Because if I don't, I won't go back and read it for months, and that's not. I'm a very scheduled. I'm not spontaneous at all. So
the only
that's
thing I
problem.
cannot do is I cannot read before bed.
No, yeah, I can't.
Why?
Because
I
I'll
have
fall
to watch
asleep
TV.
during it.
No,
Yeah.
not me. I have the exact opposite problem.
Yeah.
When if I read before bed, I
Mhm.
don't go to bed at a proper time because I'm
Mhm.
like, well, one more chapter. The next thing I know, it's like 2:00 and I'm finishing the book. So I have to watch TV because I can turn the TV off and go to bed. But if I'm reading, I become just very, very inappropriate.
Well, there you go.
You become very inappropriate if you read before
I
bed.
stay up way too late.
Keep that in mind, Sheila's husband.